call me the 35th way, my obviously out of six. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage. Today, and only today, we are here with some big, major news for the start of the new year of Sonic news. We are now 2 weeks into 2025, and we are just starting to get hit with the anniversary celebration start. So let's go, major day. Let's talk about some fun leaks, the news that's gone on, and what might be going down in big 2025. And of course, as always, please consider subscribing to your boy, support the content, and let's hit that big 100K this year. All right, so the first things first, they officially dropped it, Sonic's 35th anniversary. We've been waiting for this announcement. For those of you that don't know, right, we have basically had leaks of this logo, of this anniversary for almost a year now. It was in March of 2025 that we had the first calendar leak, which almost led us to believe that they were going to start the anniversary plans really early, but that was not the case. And since then, there was some merch leaks and everything, you know, even some toys that leaked, all leading to this moment. Let's go watch the video, and we will then, you know, follow that up by, you know, breaking it down, analyzing it, doing our thing that we like to do here, which is extend topics that are supposed to be 5 seconds long into a 30-minute video somehow. Let's fucking go. Watch this the Sega. I hear the live and learn, which is, I'm glad we have that back. The big 35th. Da-na-na-na, super sweet. The editing on this trailer is pretty fire. I love it. It's so clean. Clean sprite.
Let's do it.
Seeing Sonic X with some Jason Griffith love for the first time in like God knows how long. This is a new arrangement of Live and Learn, which is awesome. Movie 3 stuff.
The sky's the limit.
Prime stuff.
Not over, Sonic.
Okay.
Attack.
Unleashed. Iconic rivalries. Nah. Okay, we got Infinite. God, it looks cool, dude. Man, I love that he runs around. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love the music choice. Infinite Worlds. Hey. Got the text. The way they edited this is so good. And then going into Giganto. Ooh. The Chaos Emeralds. There's the logo. Sonic 35th anniversary. Here is to the next level. So first of all, really well edited trailer. I want to go ahead and break this down. First of all, this is 100% a new arrangement of Live and Learn. In fact, we actually got a tweet confirming that they fixed the beef, right? So this is in you know, Sonic News account over here, says it seemed that the Crush 40X Sega dispute has been resolved and the group songs can be used in Sonic Project. This is what the Live and Learn remix is in the Sonic 35th anniversary trailer. So apparently someone DMs Jerry, be like, hey, I saw the official Sonic profile on YouTube. Use Live and Learn in the 35th anniversary trailer. And I'm curious, does that mean the song is out of the limbo and Crush 40 could be back to making Sonic songs? All is good, bro. Yes, hugs. Thank God. You know, it was super weird when obviously the whole lawsuit happened last year. For those of you that don't know, there was basically a big lawsuit that went down where they were fighting for the movie rights to use Live and Learn, which then led to a discussion of who owns Live and Learn. And so there was a lawsuit going on about, you know, Johnny technically writing the song, but Sega owning it, all that legal stuff that we don't really fully understand again. But a few months back, Johnny said that they, you know, sort of settled and they didn't really do anything about it. And so it seems that all is love and all is okay. So that's nice because, yeah, it was really weird and worrying when Sonic Racing Crossroads had all these songs in the jukebox, but, you know, all Crush 40 music was missing, and it kind of led to, you know, a little bit of a scare. So hopefully those songs will be added in later. But yeah, I did want to address that first and foremost. Now, about this video, right? I will say, I noticed right away, we got to go into our little breakdown mode. First of all, I love that it goes through, you know, Sonic over the ages. You know, you have like the original box art, some European box art love, Knuckles, the official Sega seal of quality, and then going into the big, you know, movie thing. Now, I will say, right now, this is me already being a bit of a dork analyzing shit, right? Because you can see like all, you know, a bunch of Sonic games in the corners here. This middle one that says Sonic Presents, I almost wonder if, you know, I wonder if that's almost what the next game is going to start with. Like if we're going to see this Presents when the next game starts, because they've done Sonic or Sega Presents, like they did that for Sonic Mania. They've done it before. And so I wonder if unironically, this is the closest we have to like new footage of a new game, because last time they did a video like this, they did tease Sonic Frontiers teaser trailer in it with like Sonic's foot sidestepping, but it doesn't look like there's that kind of footage here. You can see like a bunch of Sonic projects and 35 years of Sonic. Ooh, is that a new model? No, this is still the same model. They're just kind of using a spin cycle. Interesting way that they move. He usually doesn't move with like the weird spin cycle, but we'll see. You know, people obviously have been talking and clamoring for a new model. We'll see if we get one in the next game. But yeah, super speed. So we get a look at Sonic Generations. We get the movie, right? So I noticed one thing about this is, and when I see stuff, most of these things are things that are available on modern platforms, right? Like, you know, there's like footage of stuff like Sonic Origins, Sonic X, which is available on Netflix, but it is interesting that they finally got a Sonic X clip in there because they know people grew up with that. And then you get Sonic movie, right? You have Sonic Origins, you have Sonic Frontiers, Sonic Generations. Like, there's a lack of Adventure 2, Heroes, like the usual nostalgia stuff that they're cool with showing, which, you know, might just be random, but you're gonna notice something weird here. So we got, you know, Prime, Mania Adventures, right? A little bit of Sonic dialogue in there. We get Sonic Prime, obviously, and then here we get Unleashed. Unleashed is the only game here that to me sticks out as a little weird. Now, again, I know, you know, people are like, Fidel, you're probably breaking this down. I'm just speculating. I just think it's a little weird that, you know, it's a 35th anniversary video and you're not showing stuff like, you know, Adventure and Heroes and the stuff that gives you like easy props and points for these videos. And maybe they were just going with stuff that's like available in HD so they could edit it. But it is interesting that Unleashed is in here with something we're going to talk about like right after this. So that's going to be exciting when we get to that. But you get, you know, the Sonic X Shadow Gens, iconic rivalries. So they show Eggman, they show Infinite, and they show Metal. Interesting choices, to say the least, when you think of like famous rivalries, but sure, you know, some people obviously always speculate that Infinite's gonna come back. You know, you got some good HD spriting over here with the many rings, Forces footage. Like I said, it's weird, right? Don't you guys agree? Like the fact that all the footage is just like things that are modern day available on all major platforms right now, like Sonic Colors Ultimate, Mania Origins, movies, you know, animation. I don't know. It's weird. It like sticks out to me a little bit. You know, you even got the Minecraft X Sonic DLC, and then you get into Sonic Frontiers. So yeah, and I love this logo segue that they go with. I love how the Chaos Emeralds, you know, going all around, forever fast. So, and a nice animated logo, which I haven't seen in you know, for a long time for Sonic. And then you've got him running in 2D. Now, guys, I'm not gonna lie, man. Unless someone can tell me a time I've seen this, modern Sonic running in 2D like that is not something I have seen. Maybe, again, I'm overthinking it. Please let me know in the comment section below if I'm being stupid. I do wonder if maybe this is a modern 2D Sonic game that might be this. Again, I'm probably overthinking it. But, you know, for the sake of conversation, this is a spin cycle we haven't seen with the modern Sonic model. You know what I mean? So that's at least interesting. But yeah, here's to the next level of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, we do also have the website, actually. Oh, they dropped a website for it. If I can go grab it over here with a bit more detail. So let's go ahead and check that really quickly. We have a nice shiny logo over here. We can open the video version, super HD. Again, it's funny. We've seen this thing a long time ago, right? Like this leaked a year ago with the calendar. But yeah, we have Shadow in this Chaos Emerald. We got Rouge, Amy, Eggman, Tails, Knuckles, and then you've got, you know, Sonic box sets from across the years. You got Sonic Racing, Original Sonic, you got Sonic Frontiers. So really cool different styles here. And something interesting that I wanted to point out, right, is so this is Nakamura, Sega producer, employee, and this is a really weird thing he tweeted out. He said, "Thank you for the support over the past 35 years. Please continue to support Sonic. Also Silver, Mephiles, Infinite, and so on." So again, one of those things he could just be like shouting out smaller scale characters, but always interesting wording, always something to, you know, keep in the back of our minds, think about a little bit when we're, you know, analyzing these things. I'm sure Silver is a character that's on the back of their minds whenever they're talking about this series, whenever we're thinking about it. We always think about Silver. But let's go ahead and see if the website has anything useful for us. So celebrate Sonic's 35th anniversary. 2026 marks Sonic the Hedgehog's 35th anniversary, a thrilling milestone for one of the most legendary gaming and entertainment icons. For over 3 decades, Sonic has raced through generations and inspired fans with his unmatched speed, unstoppable energy, and fearless spirit. Now, it's time to honor his incredible journey and celebrate the Blue Blur's countless adventures. Get ready to relive the excitement of Sonic's legacy as we celebrate 35 years of non-stop action. Thank you to our fans. And yeah, honestly, sadly, there's not much information on the website. It is just kind of that, followed by some newsletters. But we do have actually some extra information via Tails channel. Shout out to Tails channel, of course, always doing some incredible reporting with Sonic. But yeah, so Sonic 35th is celebrating Sonic in various different ways. Said to Sega in a statement from Tails channel, they'll highlight his evolution over the years with fan meetups, concepts, and even brand new narratives. So Tails channel, I guess, directly reached out to them to ask them what they're gonna do, and they're saying digital content highlighting Sonic's evolution across the decade. So maybe some retrospective old school videos and stuff, fan meetups and community gatherings, which always a good plus, exclusive brand and retail partnerships featuring limited merch. That's obvious. That's going to happen. Museum pop-ups and art exhibits. I'm excited to see what they do that. Live concert celebration. So might see a return of the Sonic Symphony in some shows. And then a brand new narrative podcast, which... okay, like I looked into it a little bit. Apparently a narrative podcast is like basically just kind of like an audio book kind of thing. You know, it's just something that you can listen to and talk to, which I guess, you know, might be exciting. It might be cool to hear like a story via, you know, an audiobook. I'm always down for something like that. Shit, why not? But obviously it seems like they are keeping information very close. You know, they didn't tell them anything about new games or projects. Now, I'm sure that stuff is coming, and it's all stuff we're expecting, and it's all stuff we want, right? Like, obviously, you know, we have this announcement trailer, and it is very cool, right? But we want more. You know, the nice thing about having this video is just that, like, things are starting, right? We're 2 weeks into the year, which I think is a great starting point. You know, everybody's back from the holidays, they're ready, they're back in the office, and so having something like this to get people excited about, all right, you're gonna start your news cycle soon, right? You're gonna get your Sonic Centrals, your announcements, your news, right? And what is going to happen this year, we've talked about in quite a few videos now, but you would assume, you know, they show the Sonic movie a lot. I would expect by later this year, we're probably going to start seeing our info on Sonic Movie 4. You know, with classic Sonic, I feel like there's always going to be something classic Sonic related, especially during the anniversary. So whether they find a way to update Origins again or whatnot, that'd be cool. I still stand by the fact that Sonic Frontiers, while I feel like is a complete game, I would like a Switch 2 edition, you know, maybe make that game 60 FPS everywhere, maybe update it for, you know, maybe with all the content. I guess to be fair, the content is free, but I don't know, maybe they'd find a way to add some content to Frontiers, but I do feel like it's too late. Generations, I feel like it is done. Now they do show, I did see a lot of people pointing out that they're showing the shows like their primes and their animations, and we've been hoping for this for a while, praying for some kind of animated series, right? Like that's something we all really would like to see, right? But on a more exciting and fun, maybe not fun, but like silly note, I would like to get into something we haven't seen in a minute, and that is some nice, good old-fashioned leaks. All right, that's right, we are in that time of year where we are starting to see the fake leaks that go around for Sonic. So I figured it would be a fun time if we just sat and read these, because these leaks basically happen 2 days before these anniversary plans were announced. So I'm just curious, let's entertain these, let's see these. You know, worst case, they're nothing. Best case, it's always fun to read some fake leaks, because who knows, they might end up being real. So we've got over here by Sonic Anonymous, next upcoming Sonic game is called Sonic Eclipse, Frontiers like with a city. Shadow is playable, and it's about an alternate world Sage returns to. So, pretty safe. You know, this is one of those predictions where it's like, it could be real just because, you know, it makes sense. The next game is going to be open world, and Shadow being playable makes sense. Crossworld surprises are extra content packs, relatively early in the planning stage for some of this. New cups, so they're saying new cups are planned. The Ruby Cup comes with Studiopolis, Kingdom Valley, and Space Colony Arc, adds a Chow Garden and Null Space to Crossworlds. Now, this would be awesome. You know, here's the one thing that throws me off already with this league. is they're saying relatively early in the planning stage, and they're like detailing it extensively. That's the one thing that throws me out. But lens entertaining. I mean, I would love if Studiopolis was finally translated to 3D. That's like a dream come true for me. I've been begging for that time for a while, right? So Kingdom Valley makes sense. They have the assets for it. Space Colony Arc as well. They could literally just rip those straight out of Shadow Gens, and it would be an easy job day one. A Chow Garden and Null Space for a Crossroad would kind of be pretty easy, especially like I feel like Null World is especially easy because they already have like sort of black and white tiles because of the Lost World stage, and then they have the purple aesthetic because of the Pac-Man area, so they could just mess around and make a sort of null space, and that'd be pretty easy. Next up, they have the Drive Cup, comes with Green Hill Zone, Speed Highway, and Metal City, adds a City Escape and special stage as Crossroad. That'd be kind of cool, right? Obviously, Green Hill feels like an easy anniversary one. Speed Highway, obviously a popular level. And Metal City would be so sick to get some Sonic Riders representation, and I would love that. Genesis Cup comes with Mementos, Dream Valley, and Temple Trouble. Okay, so we get a little crazy. Last Star Port directly from Transformed, all right? And then adds Kamurocho and Miku Concert as Crossroads. All right, you know, I like where this thing ends up. Sure, why not? The Ages Cup comes with Chili Castle, Burning Depths, and Race of Ages, so full Sega Cups. Adds Graffiti City and Tartarus as Crossroads. Okay. Then their extra cars are Twinkle Park Car, a Chaos Theme Vehicle, a Lego Truck, Eggman's Drill, Amy Sonic R Car, and Breeze. And a few boards, the Crazy Berserk, a new Chaos Emerald theme board, Shinobi Strike, and a Steampunk board. All with the new names to go with the customization features, new characters, Batman, Superman, and Flash. Comes with Gotham Highway stage, and then Corone just on her own. The details of the Crossroads stuff in the first teaser for Eclipse is due to be revealed early 2026 at a Sonic Central. Whoo! A lot of yappenings here. A lot of, you know, typical leak stuff. I think this is way too detailed to be real. I think that's my thing about this one, is I think it is way too, like, once you start to like name things in order and know all the crossroads and know all this and the vehicles, I'm like, you know way too much. Like, why do you know DLC plans this far in? And like, it would be one thing if you knew like the data of like a next game. If anything, I'd believe that more than knowing in-depth DLC. So I'm like 50-50 on this one. Now, the second one was this one. This is the blowout news, right? So there are several releases lined up. This should all be revealed at a big Sonic Central. That'll be announced soon. So listen, we'll know if this leak is fake or not. Like, I think relatively soon. But I will say on the note of a Sonic Central, I do think an early year Sonic Central makes a lot of sense. I don't know if we're going to be waiting till May or June for any of these announcements, right? I feel like, hey, why not have one end of January, early February, right? Where, you know, you're trying to build hype and momentum for the series, right? You know, you've announced this anniversary thing, boom. Hey, let's detail the year for you guys. Let's go all in, because if they're starting the anniversary plans from January, it means it's going to be done by next January. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're going to have everything announced and done. But let's get over this one. So, Sonic Visual Story is basically a minigame visual novel collection, fully voiced, mostly text, point and click, with some assorted minigames in between. Each story has a different character as the protagonist. There's one about Knuckles that includes a dungeon crawler-like mission where you explored ancient temples and stuff. It's definitely the most expansive one. The two are about Shadow and Rouge and the Chaotix. Switch to PC. I mean, it's funny, you know, the thing that gives us a little bit of credence is the Tales channel thing, where they said they're doing the narrative podcast, which could be Sonic Visual Stories, but seeing that it's a mini game / visual novel collection, it's weird that might line up. Like, that's the only weird one. I'm like, okay, this is so ultra specific and weird that I could somewhat believe this. But after the success of Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, overwhelmingly positive reviews, a lot of downloads, I could see, the team of Katie and the others that worked on that continue that sort of like narrative trend. You know what I mean? Just try to keep going into that, seeing what works and continuing it. And if you remember in Murder of Sonic, there was a mini game section where Sonic would run in like a few lanes and get stuff. So an expanded version of that seems pretty good. Then here's where you get a little wacky, a little quirky. So Sonic Unleashed Definitive Edition includes all DLC content. Shadow and Knuckles are added. They're part of a new rival mission where you race against Shadow in daytime stages or fight against Knuckles as the Werehog. Okay, so right away, like I said, it was very weird that video basically had Sonic Unleashed in it and nothing else. So that's one thing I still hamp on. Yeah, and I know some people would say like it's available on Xbox, right? But it's not the same. Yeah, I mean, it's not the same. There's something odd about that, so Shadow and Knuckles being added, rival missions, that's a safe fake or real thing where like, okay, yeah, day stages would suddenly have Shadow racing against you, and then night stages maybe Knuckles would show up, and maybe if you beat him you get a lot of XP. Maybe that would mitigate the XP issue in the game, right? Or even if you did rival races with Shadow, that would also mitigate the XP issue, because the game, funnily enough, has an issue where like you can go super fast, do a lot of cool shit. It's just that you need to grind and level up a lot. But maybe if you had these rival matches between these two, it would, add a lot to it so that you can get more XP, right? Medal requirements are lowered, but they are rearranged. But they rearranged the level order to make some of the extra DLC acts and rival missions mandatory. Okay, so they've found a way to like shove in the DLC stages, and obviously lowering the medal requirement would happen no matter what, because that was the biggest criticism of Sonic Unleashed. Is like the amount to get forward is a lot. No redub rewrite, remix soundtrack and some new music, customizable outfit system, all consoles and PC. Yeah, the no redub and rewrite, I don't know about that one, bestie. It's hysterical how this is the one that makes me think this is fake, because I feel like they did it with Sonic Generations for like no reason, and I don't see why they wouldn't do it here. Now, granted, you could argue that for Sonic Generations, the reason why they redubbed it is because it was mainly that same cast, and they just wanted to update, their voices, and they tried something different with that. And maybe, with Unleashed, the problem with redubbing it is the character expressions and things that they recorded felt like they were a little bit more natural to the dialogue and the movement and everything. So I could see a world where they do let go and not redub, rewrite this one, because it is very special to people. So possible, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But again, I don't know why, but that frame in that trailer where they show like Unleashed for a frame, like a freaking second, has me tripped out for this one. But we'll see. Remix soundtrack and some music. That one's pretty easy to think about. Customizable outfit system, yeah. And then we once again have this Sonic Eclipse thought process. So Sonic Eclipse, main open world Sonic game. Sonic and Shadow are the main characters in both playable. Spin Dash comes back. City area with NPCs, which correlates to the other leak we saw. No boosting, which if you've been paying attention to these leaks that we've been looking at for Sonic for a while, a lot of them had said boosting is kind of gone in favor of a new system where like you get bursts of speed to use. So yeah, new burst speed mechanic. You get special moves and increased combat power while maintaining top speed. This also ties into Sonic CD like dimension hopping, where activating certain items on the overworld can transfer you to an alternate world. Linear levels are still in the game. Switch to PS5, Xbox. All right, so this is our fake leak for the for this year. This is the one. I'm not saying it's a fake leak, but this is now this has become like the leak of like, we're like, all right, hey, remember Sonic Eclipse, right? Remember when originally we thought Sonic Dimensions was gonna be the next game, or Sonic Rift? I feel like this name is now, you know, going there and doing that same kind of comedy thing, right? So anyways, right, so we have that, and I don't know, you let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of this leak? Is it too fake? Is it too BS? We'll find out soon, you know, if we are close to a Sonic Central. I really hope that we are. But I don't know, I'm very 50-50 on these leaks, right? It could be real, it could not be. I just figured it'd be fun to, it's always fun to look at fake leaks. Back to reality a little bit. This is something I actually missed out on talking about a little while back. This was right before the Pac-Man event, but there's actually really good news, because what happened here was they said, based on player feedback, we're making important improvements to the Legend competition. Due to this, we need to reschedule II's release to February, but Tango Whisper will not be affected. Now, this is actually a major deal, because yes, we got the announcement of the second Legends competition. This is, you know, sort of Sonic Racing Crossroads big ranked competitive mode. And if a lot of you guys watched me play or watched a lot of players play, you knew that this mode was brutal. Like this, you know, the point system was brutal. It originally had an issue where it was putting you with a lot of bots, which, you know, would lower your score if you lost them by a lot more. It had an issue with gadgets, right? Everybody was running a meta gadget set where they were using level 4 drifts. It was bad, right? But this Legends competition seems to be addressing everything. It's gonna slow down time for, you know, so that I can matchmake you with more players. And the gimmick for round 2 is that it is only 1 slot gadget. So you can only have stuff like, you know, you can have 6 slots, but they've all got to be the one use gadget. So you got to think like, all right, do I want, I don't know, the air trick bounty? Do I want the mini ring boost? Do I want the boost at the start of the race? You're going to think a lot harder for the level 1 gadgets, but you know, it's not going to be as meta focused, I feel like, as when people were running like these major kits like drift kits, all these things that really were game changers for the ranked round. I really love this. I'm glad that they went with this. In fact, they even continued over here and said, yeah, the game is going to offer a system where, hey, if you were in silver, you're going to start in bronze. If you were in gold or platinum, you're going to start in silver. And then if you were in emerald, you'll start in gold. Or actually, if you were platinum and emerald, you're going to start in gold. So I'm really happy about this, bro. Like, this is the type of feedback, and we've been talking about this with this game. Like, they care. You know, they dropped the Pac-Man Festival, was super successful once again, and they're doing these Legends competitions. And next month we're going to be getting Tango, Pac-Man. You know, we even got the confirmation that they're going to be supporting the game a lot this year. And, you know, like we saw in the trailer on the website, it's very clear that Sonic Racing Crossroads continues to be like a success. Like, I see this game all the time to this day, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you guys see it too. It's just a game that like just stays in the conscious and is fun to play. And speaking of Sonic animations, they did say that, yeah, we're happy to announce that Sonic Racing Crossroads, the animation, has been nominated for Best Sponsored Animated Production, the 53rd award of the Annies. All right, guys, can we get a new animated series? Is it time? Again, you showed Sonic Prime, you showed Sonic X in that thing. Like, it's very clear you guys care about animation, and you keep dropping these animated shorts. I would like, that's one of my big thing that I want the most this year, is I want the dedication to an actual significant animated series. I don't want a Prime that's like a side thing, you know, that's meant for the younger audience. You know, I don't want I don't know. I don't want a short anymore. I want an animated series. I want a Sonic anime. I want a Sonic X style continuation. I want something that's like the Shadow, you know, racing thing or Dark Beginnings. Like, do something that is significant and cool. And I think that's going to be announced. I do think that's one of my predictions of this year. You know, besides the merch, I feel like we're going to get an animated series. They're going to announce the Max Mainline game, and we're going to get a remaster. I feel like those are the 3 locks for this year, no matter what, alongside the you know, movie 4 news that we're probably gonna get later in the year. But yeah, that's everything in terms of the major news. Like I said, I'm just happy that we're kicking this off so early in the year. I was really worried that we were gonna go, you know, up to, you know, February, March with no 35th anniversary acknowledgement. You know, like, look how Nintendo did Mario last year. Like, pretty, not dirty, but I would say like it was not handled the best. Like, you know, Mario's 40th anniversary started its celebration like September last year, and like, you know, they've kind of loosely celebrated it where they're like, oh yeah, Galaxy 1, 2. Mario Tennis counts as an anniversary thing, I guess. Yoshi counts as an anniversary thing, you know, the Yoshi game. Like, it's just kind of like smart assing it. You know, give me like the big merch stuff for Mario. Give me like main Mario things. And I hope they go that path with Sonic. And of course, as always, in the comment section below, you know, please let me know what you guys are looking forward to most for the anniversary. What do you expect the most? I know we just had a discussion earlier, you know, right at the start of the year, end of last year, about Sonic's future, right? But what do you think specifically for the 35th anniversary are you expecting? Are you expecting big merch? Is there a collab you've expected to see? Are you expecting more, you know, mobile game crossovers? Are you not expecting much this year? I don't know. We've talked about this before. I am definitely starting to think that 3D game is probably not this year if we don't see it within the next month or two. You know, I feel like if we don't, I think we will know. I mean, when we see that teaser, we'll know for sure. But I'm not sure when we're gonna get that release date or that time frame for that X mainline game. Again, there's still a big world where that can come out this year. I really do think people underestimate that by fall of this year will have been 4 years since Frontiers, and if they were building off that foundation and they had a team working on that nonstop, there's a big chance it could be this year. Regardless, I hope we have a fun year, a fun hype cycle. Let the hype begin. That's all I gotta say. I'm excited to talk about Sonic all year with you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Of course, I'll see you all next time. Peace out.